This one is pure text based on YAML files. This one, they usually, especially on Fedora, or if you have another fast-paced system, they update monthly. So on page, there's continuous community contributions, hardware compatibility. This one is proprietary drivers usually required, especially if you have NVIDIA, let's be honest, because you usually want the CUDA stuff for some things. Homepage, it's universal because it's just YAML files, text files. Okay, as you can see, what you can do here looks so much better than your traditional desktop environment. So it looks like it is cross-platform as well, which is fantastic. So we'll take care, we'll do that. I'm going to stop right here, and let's actually dive into, let's go to the, I'll show you what apps you do need. So I'm going to use Podman Desktop. I haven't done a review on Podman Desktop in a while, but you just go to podman-desktop.io. You can download. It's cross-platform for the desktop, whether you're on Mac, Linux, or Windows. And you can see here, oh, there's Mac, Linux. I don't even know. There's even others. So what else? Oh, there are portable versions, Wingit, Mac OS, Linux. Yeah. So there we go. And so onto, you can, you go to get homepage.dev, and you can see here, this is a modern, fully static, fast, secure, fully proxied, highly customized application dashboard with integrations for over 100 services and translations into multiple languages, just easily configured via YAML files or through Docker label discovery. Okay. So as you guys know, I have Podman. I don't use Docker because Podman is rootless. So that's why. Now we can go to the GitHub page as well. So you can see that this app is still maintained. As you can see here, it has contributions. So as I said before, I'm going to use a container version. So yeah, you can have all this type of stuff here. And yeah, and it has instructions as well to use it with Docker. So as you can see, the good thing is you see I don't need to put the user stuff here because I said I'm Podman anything 1000 above. It will allow it. So the ports is 3000, so I don't need to literally change anything at all. I don't need to add this user group. I think that's a Docker specific thing. Yeah, and it doesn't take variables anyway. So I might have to remove this. We'll see. I'll just leave them. I don't think they'll affect it anyway. And you can also install npm packages. I'm not going to do that. You guys know my thing about Node.js is pulling in so many dependencies. It's getting better, but it's still not where I'd like it to be. Okay, so let's actually get started here. Let's go back here and let's get started. So I'm going to open up a terminal. And then with the terminal, I am going to, let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder to hold this. Oh, you know what? We actually have, we're going to, so sometimes, so I want to talk about Podman Desktop. So Podman Desktop, several ways you can download it as you saw. The one I have is from GitHub, not GitHub, FlatHub. Okay, you guys, so I've created tutorials on Podman Desktop, so I'm not going to do that. So here instead, I'm going to create a folder here and I'm going to cd into it. That's all I need to do. So this is going to be the folder where if I need to map any volumes, which I will put them here, especially the config. You see I create a config folder here. As you can tell, there's only one thing, that's the config, an empty folder. So that's it. That I will come back to this later. So I'm just going to make this smaller because I said we'll come back to this later. And then I'm going to open up Podman Desktop. Okay. Okay, here we go. It opened up full screen. I don't need full screen. I don't need you to put full screen. I don't know you did that. Oh, good. Fantastic. That's still a known thing. Okay, so here's Podman desktop. So we go to images and image. Yeah, it's not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it. It's going to pull. I go to pull and okay, so I'm going to specify if you just type homepage, you see there's a bunch of images here. So I don't think I'll see homepage here because it looks like, yeah, so there's a bunch of Docker IO stuff. I don't see the one I want. Yeah, so I'm just gonna just type it in here instead because this one is from GitHub, from the homepage one. So that's the one I'm gonna pull. So I'm gonna take that out. And you can see here, I don't want the dev version, I want the latest. So let me actually put latest in there. I'll put latest and then I'll click pull image. I put two columns. Oh, I put two columns. That's probably why. There we go, it found it. Now we can pull the image. I put two columns. Okay, so as I say, it's pretty fast. So oh, by the way, I realized today that one reason I'm late today is because I realized that I made a mistake. Yesterday's the tutorial we did with Pico Claw was the on some places and mostly YouTube it was it was kind of I put the wrong date, so I don't know why I did that, but I messed up the dates. I think because when I saw 50 megabytes, I thought that meant Raspberry Pi, so I kind of messed up. But it looks like the first time I had it right. Anyway, I resolved that today. I switched them around, and it should be fine. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to click run here, and then it asks me to create a container. So I'm going to create the container. I'm just going to call it homepage. It's mapping already automatically 3000, 3000. I'm going to leave that as is. The volumes, I'm just going to change this because I need config. So I'm just going to take the, if you remember that folder we created at the beginning of this. So I'm going to put it in here. Yeah, I can also just browse it there, but I can just dump it in there just faster, and I'll be app slash config. If you guys want to see it, I'll show that to you in a second. Oops. I can spell config. Okay, so if I right click here and I open in file manager, you can see there's this config and it's empty, right? So once we start running this, something will start popping up in the configuration stuff. Anything else, I am going to leave it the way they are because I don't need homepage allowed ports. It says that I need to put something there in the environmental file. Okay, so let's go do that. This environmental one, I need to put, this might be specific only to, what do you call it? I think this is specific only to Docker. Get homepage.dev. And yeah, and then there's some other stuff, but I said that doesn't work with Podman, so I'm just going to ignore that. And then I'm just going to click Start Container. And you can see the container is running. Now, if I was on the command line, I'll just type podman-compose space up space -d. So this one is running. Now, yeah, so it's running. So I believe to access this, I have to go to 3000. Let's check the logs to make sure there's no errors. Yeah, so it's telling us I can get to it anywhere on port 3000. That's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to minimize this. And I'm gonna go here. You guys haven't seen me do this before, so I'll say 127 http ://127.0.0.1:3000. There we go. So this is homepage. Okay. Now, obviously, you can add services and make it as pretty as you saw in the other place, right? So I said I don't use widgets. The only widget I'll probably need is probably like a timer. For example, when I build clients and whatever, that'll be pretty nice for me. So you can see here, it's very fast as you saw. And so you can add services, as I said before, you can add groups. Yeah, so let's look around the interface here. You can change the colors. Oh, there we go. Looks like I did change the color when I didn't need to. Okay, there we go, white. And then what's here? Night mode. It's night mode. Does it say so? Yeah. So that's it. And then obviously you to get other things, you have to get the services. You have to write your own YAML files. So you can read up on that, and that's our homepage. So I want this tutorial to be pretty fast because I said I want to start speeding this type of things up pretty quickly. And then this would be your dashboard. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. That's literally it. So you basically go to GitHub here, and you can pass stuff in there, or you can you can read the configuration here as well. And I said I don't use this, but I don't want. I know some of you guys might, so that's why I thought I would share today. Okay, so let's finish this up. So let's say you're done with it and maybe you don't like it or you want to remove it. So I'll show you that because nobody else does this except for myself. Here we go. So first thing you do is you stop running the container. Then you delete it. Okay. This is Podman desktop. You can also do it in the command line. You can see me do it several times. And then when you see the container is gone, there's no container here. But if we go to images, you see we still have the image because that one was not deleted. So we can also delete the image. This is homepage here. You just click on it and then hit delete. And that's it. We're done with homepage. That's it. We're done with homepage. And you can see what did I promise you? I said in the config file, there'll be just stuff being added, and you can see all this stuff was added. Some default widgets, etc. All YAML file settings, Docker, Kubernetes, bookmarks, etc., etc. So I don't need this, so I'm going to see. Yeah, I should go to delete this folder. Yeah, perfect. And you can delete homepage, the folder, and obviously make sure to delete your trash or whatever you put in there. All right, so yeah, that was actually pretty good. Oh, so one of the problems with this type of apps is that if you're really tight on space, one of the things you can do is you should also prune this stuff as well. So I'm going to show you how to prune. First thing I want to get rid of the space. 1.8 cache, that's kind of big already. So we can just remove the cache folder. And also paste. Okay, and I'll use pipe. I don't think I've used any Python stuff in a while. Okay, it says nothing. I haven't installed anything. So that's it. So that's now it's gone, and we need this as well. So let's finish this up. I can master the professional. Oh, sorry. As we previously explored in architecture breakdowns of decentralized compute clusters, this dashboard serves as the perfect visual layer. It bridges a gap between raw terminal commands and interactive graphical interfaces, you find that combining these tools creates a unified workspace for complex engineering tasks. You seamlessly the seamless integration mirrors the principles we discussed when optimizing GPU rendering pipelines to create creative professionals. You can master professional stuff. I have books, they're available on Amazon. The link is in the description, or you can search for Editor Jumbo. If you're a DIY person, I have a jumboshop.com. This one has 3 categories. There's a backyard structures. There's over 20 in just backyard structures. There's over 20 in small living, and there's over 20 in the woodworking plans. So you can pick. You can go take a look at them. I said there's over 20 articles in each single individual category here at jumboshop.com. So we go to jumboshop.com. I do have 2 other what do you call it? More, I also offer 2 services. I offer tutoring services. So, for example, if you want to learn programming or you need a little bit of hand-holding, if you want somebody, a programmer to help you review your code, hire me at jumbo.com/contact. I'll be in the custom. If you want me to do the work for you, the consultations, custom apps, architecture, or jumboservices.com. As you can see here, I said that whether it's AI, automation, integration, Linux, PCI compliance, integration. When I say integration, I'm talking about payment processors. It could be PayPal, Stripe, or Square payments. Or if you need logistics, shipping, I can do that as well. Even if it's like a local bank credit union, I can do that as well. And then for e-commerce, I just briefly talked about that as well. Usually is PC compliance. I'm an expert in that as well. Obviously, if you need to make apps, web apps, desktop applications, or mobile, again, I can do that. I do everything in-house by myself. All right, so let's go here, and for tutorials, yeah, we've talked about that and talked about consultations. So next, I do have 2 other recommended resources. I have this Algorithmic Serpent. It's a psychological thriller about an AI scientist who creates an AI system that loses his mind, so he has to gain control of both. This is the back of the paperback version. And my greatest one is the Recession Business Blueprint. This is a guide to help you start a business during a recession. We're in a recession right now, so the economy goes up, down, up, down. Right now, it's in a down cycle. You eventually go up, and the skills you learn during a recession, you'll never forget them. So you'll be better prepared when the economy starts going down again. Okay, so all my books, they do have ebook versions. You can pick them. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read them for free or get them for free. So take advantage of that. Here's my bio. I'm a software engineer. I'm also an author. So you can explore my books on Amazon, the link in the description. If you need support, jumboservices.com, the link is also in the description. And if you're a DIY person, I implore you to visit jumboshop.com for backyard structure, small living, and woodworking projects. I'll leave a comment. You can use the contact, that's another contact, the comment form for the article or one of the platforms I live stream to. And then the best way to contact me is the contact form of jumbo.com/contact or jumboshop.com/contact and jumboservices.com/contact. Follow me, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and Discord.